is Accumulate technology? What does Accumulate SA stand for? And why is it we call our product a DNA drop? And what does negative ions have to do with all of it?
Okay, great. It's the most unique technology I've ever seen for creating any kind of a supplement. There's been a lot of, over the years, there's been a lot of companies that are pioneering and producing new types of products. But this particular company uses what took scientists 30 years to develop. And they apparently entrusted this company with their years and years of research on how to best utilize nutrients at the cell level in the body. And that caught my attention. I've never seen any kind of a company go to that length as to finding out what happens at the microcell level. That's where it's all happening, right? We cannot do anything unless our cells, our trillions of cells, are functioning optimally and communicating optimally too. That's where a lot of the problems come in, is when the system breakdown occurs, communication breakdown occurs. So the Accumulate SA, I forget what the SA stands for. I haven't addressed that in so long, but Accumulate SA basically stands for this technology that was put together so that you can extract the micro components that are in plants, which includes the phytonutrient compounds. They address all the body systems and do various wonderful things for the body: detoxification, working with the immune system, or working independently to destroy illness-causing organisms, binding to toxic synthetic chemicals that accumulate in the body. Phytochemicals do all of that, and they're in the drops. They're that small too. And then we've got the plant cell components. What's inside plant cell, all living cells, is the protein manufacturing sites, the sites that determine whether something belongs in the body or not, activates and communicates to the immune system, replicates and duplicates its own genetic code, which is the DNA, the deoxyribonucleic acid, which is the world famous, can't do anything without knowing what's in DNA and what's in your body. So all of this addresses this to the optimal as far as how the body is going to utilize all of this.
Wow, that's a lot. So when I ask you what makes our product so unique and different compared to every other supplement on the market, this technology that is the reason.
Absolutely. Yeah, other companies, they just they utilize all the plant materials, they grind them up, and they formulate them into powders, and then they put them in tablet form or capsule form, or a powder you can just dump in a glass of water or juice or in a smoothie. And so that process doesn't always preserve all of the viable nutrient factors, the enzymes and the active phytochemical compounds, and the active DNA, which communicates, with the body.
So a lot of people say, okay, so I take a multivitamin and I can read on the back of the label, it has this amount of vitamin A and this amount of vitamin D. And then they try to compare our product with that, which they cannot do. Can you explain the difference and why we don't have an ingredient label like that lists out all those specific vitamins?
Because those molecules, the vitamins and minerals, are gigantic complexes of molecules. And if you notice, if you buy a vitamin mineral supplement, it's going to be 3 to 6 tablets that you have to swallow to get the full daily dose that they're recommending. And that matches the FDA, recommendations of how many vitamins and minerals our bodies can handle. Sometimes those supplement companies will use what are called synthetic vitamins. Those are extracted from, they try to duplicate the molecules or one part of a molecule of, say, a B complex vitamin. And then you've got the vitamin A. Those are gigantic molecules too. I mean, those are present in things like fish. And our bodies actually convert vitamin A from the phytochemical compounds. So like the carotenoids is a gigantic class of molecules, but carotenoids are tiny enough to fit inside the drops. So we've got what I understand is 1,000 phytochemical compounds in the drops, because those molecules are small enough to fit in there. So our bodies take these gigantic molecules of food, we digest it, we break it all down into those micro components, amino acids, fatty acids, glucose, and the micro minerals will sometimes be found in formulations. So, it's not really a vitamin mineral tablet. It may contain some of the trace minerals that fit inside that size, kind of thing. But as far as the phytonutrient compounds and the plant cell components, the ones that contains the DNA of the plant, the mitochondria, the energy producing factories, and the instructions that tell our bodies how to replicate our cells and duplicate the DNA properly and repair any malfunctions by reading the DNA of the plants that are in the drops.
That's just incredible. That's incredible. And I have a feeling I know the answer, possibly, the drop we're talking about tonight. But if I were to ask you, of these drops, we have 15 varieties of drops, and we know not one size is for everybody, and that's why we have the variety. But if I were to ask you, I take a multivitamin every day, just your basic average multivitamin, and I want to replace it with these DNA drops, which drops would you recommend for me?
Yeah, I would stick to a whole food multiple vitamin mineral supplement. I do the same thing because, I practice what I teach, right? I've been teaching this for so long that I make sure I incorporate as many different foods in my diet as possible. So I've got the full array of all possible phytochemicals and vitamins, minerals, and enzymes, and everything in my daily diet. But when you're reinforced with it and you're studying it every single day, of course, it's always going to be in your head. So it's been good for me. But so when you take the drops, though, you're doing something, you're taking it a step farther. You're actually making sure that your DNA is going to read the right information so that it'll maintain its genetic sequences of genes. Those genes are the instructions that tell our cells how to function and how to operate, how to replicate. It operates all the body systems. It tells the body systems what to do. It helps them communicate. It's like the central control, and that's happening at every single one of our multiple trillions of cells. Okay, I think I went off on a tangent again. Tina, what was your question?
I like it. If somebody said to me, I want to start with the product that would be the most like a multivitamin, like the overall good health kind of drop, which drop would you recommend?
Okay, yeah, thank you. Gosh, okay, this is the thing. All plants are pansystemic. A plant has so many different compounds in it, and of course, vitamins and minerals your body can always use. So the body's going to take that information and utilize it to the maximum, right? So one plant doesn't do just one thing, or the plant wouldn't survive in nature. So plants are like our systems. They have a system of immune system and fluids, plant fluids. It's just like human blood. When you compare the two molecularly, they're very, very similar because we have living cells in us, as do plants. So it's hard to say. I mean, you can look at any one of these drops. You cannot go wrong because of that feature that plants have. But some plants do have certain phytochemical compounds that have been found to address certain body systems, which is why these drops are amazing. They have taken whoever did their scientific homework to put these formulations together is impressive. They did as much homework as I have. That's very impressive. So that's why these drops will have an affinity for certain body systems, okay? Like the GRW, it focuses on plants that are strong or contain phytochemicals that will address the detoxification systems in the body and to increase the immune system, or rather improve how the immune system works and can actually communicate with the entire nervous system and the hormonal systems, all this start and stop, these processes that go on and on and on all of our lives, So this is why the drops are not only pansystemic, but they do focus on botanicals that do address specific systems.